Thank you for tuning in. If you just now getting with us, KUAW.org, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom. We got Bonafyde G, Big Juice, and we're here talking about, this is the wisdom tea. Pull it, feel it, and then you know it. We're going to get on to this journey with you.
Yeah. Big Juice in the radio in the building. We're bringing it back. We got Jason Walker from the People's Group for Urban Development, formerly the Black Panther Party. Jason, let's talk about your organization real quick. Break us down what's going on.
Sure. It would be wrong for me not to actually speak of the person that gave me the call. Her name is Shantoya Shipley, and she goes by, I think it's like the Zenith or something. You can find her page, but on Shantoya Shipley gave me a call earlier last year, just talking about the Panthers, and we had been on some conference calls with some children of some of the original Panthers, and we're just kind of coordinating some different things. And then our first kind of effort was a couple food drives and coat drives earlier last year, and then we filed with the state and came up with the People's Group for Urban Development, just kind of cautious of the Black Panther Party and just that name in Kansas City.
The stigma.
And the stigma of it, we kind of, we were lucky enough to kind of have some foresight to be like, okay, before we get behind this, because there's already so much negative information. Even right now, there's no clear definition of what the new Black Panther Party is, or even the Black Panther Party. So with that, typical, this organization within our community, I mean, it existed there. So, what our focus is just on Kansas City, and what we can do here, basically, really, on the east of Truce, in this area from 18th Street out to, in the 50s, and where you see all these vacant homes, where you see overgrowth, where you see all that stuff.
Right.
And so what our first goal last year was to kind of help the people that, because we got so many problems. There's so many problems that we have, and so the first, some of the first things that we wanted to address was utilities. Because if you look in your home right now, anyone listening, if you're able to make it through the winter and have a controllable utility bill and pay your rent, then you made it. A lot of people right now, know some people that, utilities is cut off, stuff like that. They got a bill that came with a comma.
Yeah. Right after the cold weather break.
Right. You get, and then it's all over with. And some people, may experience that, or 3 or 4 or 5 of your family members have experienced this. I've experienced that, and it's because you have inadequate living conditions.
Exactly.
And that's one of the original 10-point programs of the Black Panther Party. And we keep on moving beyond that into some rims. We want rims to ride on instead of an acceptable house to live in. And so when you're dealing with this type of person on the street, this type of person in your family, even this type of person that's sitting at your dinner table, then you see how much work we have to do.
Yeah. Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Radio. Soon to be 98.5. We're trying to give it to you. This is the wisdom teeth. We come with that real for real today, I'm telling you.
Man.
So, with the People's Group, y'all out here in the community.
We're out here in the community. The last thing, talking about the winter, we help people put plastic up just over the windows. Just as simple as that. Just put plastic up over your windows in the winter time.
Yeah, it
helps. It helps so much. Put the plastic up.
You ain't been cold if you ain't pulled no plastic out. You ain't been cold.
Right. And then, in the winter time, it's just as worse because, you want to open up the windows, but a lot of these houses don't even have screens.
Yeah.
Don't even have screens over your windows, so you open up your window and you're letting everything in.
Oh no, the windows painted shut.
Or painted shut, or nailed shut. This is what's going on right now. So, we're trying, bit by bit to
our communities
to do it.
And like, I hate Lord, I hate when people be like, oh, that's so ghetto. I hate that term. I hate that reference.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they act as if we're a product. Like we created the ghettos when we were a product of conditioning. Like, we make so much money, we live in the area, and there's only so many houses for us for so many generations. So you got so many generations living in a 27 block radius with no time to paint their house, put new screening, to do any house maintenance, yet let alone pay the rent, which is actually an accelerated rent because of the interest and everything that they threw on top of us.
Exactly. So
We never own it. We barely making our rent. We living on top of each other, and the families is growing and growing, but the houses ain't growing. So the dilapidated conditions come, and now before you know it, here we are. 40 years then passed by, and we in the same blocks with no change.
No change. And we're forced to accept our living condition and forced to adapt to living like this, where other people get to experience the bounties of technological advancement. We have to figure out how to survive during digression.
Exactly. Man, I was about a thriftway the other day on 63rd. You heard that OG had to use the bathroom, and his partner was like, man, just go right there behind the wall. Right at the door at the thriftway. The man was like, man, I'm 53 years old, man. I can't be using the bathroom behind the wall, man. I was like, right on, you heard me. And he was like, yeah, you feel me? I was like, yeah. You know, and his buddy looking like, I don't know what y'all tripping off of. Like, man, you just gonna just use the bathroom on the wall like that? Come on, bro. Respect your community. But you know, we gotta speak out and say something like that. I was gonna say something, even if dude was about to use it on the wall. I was gonna be like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? But we don't speak out in our community. For fear, or whatever the case, you know, we got a lot of conditions. Like you said, we
got a lot of work.
It's a lot of, I think the government, they call them amplifiers. You know what I'm saying? And they send a whole bunch of amplifiers our way to track what we say, or to moderate what we do, or to ensure we just out there with no clue. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'd like to kind of add in as far as, you know, what's actually going on right there, right now. And this was actually something I learned from Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. here about 3 weeks ago when he was on the Kansas side, was points of unity. And he really was illustrating, you know, the points of unity, because Kansas City has uncontested, you know, circumstances was his phrase, is that we have uncontested circumstances. So at that same time, you know, we could go strong. We could educate ourselves a lot quicker and see some results a lot quicker than other cities because we have uncontested conditions.
Okay, I get that now.
You know, and so with these uncontested conditions, we can't really invite the whole might of, you know, the adversary. You know, whatever you want to call them, the police, the man, whatever you want to call them. You don't want to invite all those eyes.
The powers that be.
So you move like a panther. You know,
swift.
You move like a panther.
Still.
What people don't know about a real Black Panther, besides, you know, that it avoids confrontation, but most of the Black Panthers that you see on the internet, you could Google right now, Black Panther. That's the same Black Panther that you see. That's the same that's the same one. That photo's like, that's the Black Panther is the hardest
to one to get to find.
Animal to
and it's a leopard, right? It's a black leopard.
Exactly.
Okay.
The genetic mutation
of carbonized.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That so-called 666. That number ain't never carbon. Look it up in the periodical charts of elements. You heard me.
Yes, teach 'em.
There's it.
That's it.
And so if you were to really take on the persona of a panther and not be out there, then you probably could get more results. And so I guess this new idea of what the real panther is to kind of stay in the shadows and make the results there. The vanguard had to be out there in the front, had to be. So, you know, that was necessary. And so the smart panther, whether you're wearing a t-shirt or out there with your fist up, is really realizing the importance of the shadows and the darkness.
Yeah. Hey, the Civil War's out. That Captain America, right?
Yeah.
You know, the hero, the action movies, the blockbusters, the smash, crash, bash. But I wouldn't seen it. And from what I hear and how I kind of feel too, Black Panther stole the show. You seen it?
Well, he's the richest. Well, they won't give you that information. You have to piece it together. Did you notice that in the new Civil War movie, he had his own like little ship?
Man, he was
by himself.
They didn't even know he was following.
Right there, the whole way.
The whole way.
And so if you piece it all together, like context clues, so if his country produces this metal and this mineral that the whole world has been fighting to get and making their super soldiers out of, so that would let you know this little section of got all the money.
Got all the money.
Got all the money.
And know how to keep it safe.
And exactly. Black Panther is the richest of all your comic book characters.
Wow.
He's got way more than Tony Stark.
They don't promote
Hey,
that.
he
They
don't
don't
even-
promote that.
Hey, he don't even use like no secret weapons or nothing. He just cold.
Yeah.
Like his fighting style, they say he mastered all of them. He just cold. Like he ain't get whipped up at all. The man was cold. So now prefacing they moving forward and they doing the movie because consumer value. You got to give it to if the people want it. They're doing the movie and they say 90% of the cast gonna be black.
Exactly.
That's gonna be interesting because we ain't seen a blockbuster with 90% cast black on something that wasn't. You heard me. All the way black produced.
And then this is to the people here that are stateside, in America, because we're sitting here talking about it. But when you see this, those brothers are not from America because young black men don't want to be actors. Why? Because I come from I'm a SAG carrying actor, and I lived in LA and I did the actors thing, and I was in the beginning auditions to be Hawk. The guy with the wings. This was 7 years ago when I was still living in LA. And so now we have, all this stuff has come to life. And I knew then, they were telling all the young black, when we just, get your card, it's like 1 in a
Get your
10,000.
card. Go get your SAG card, y'all. Go get your SAG card.
It's not very easy to do. You're gonna have to go out there and, fight the bricks and get told no 1,000 times before you hear that
Man,
first
knock all the walls down.
But that's what you got to do. That's the attitude that you have to have. And I just, brought that up to say is that, with this movie coming out, I'm sad to say that more than likely it will not be young African Americans, but it will be
African
and English actors from London and stuff, because they still have that dream over there when they were kids to do it and understood the rite of passage to become a professional actor, not go
for
from
dialogue or dialect, I guess they gotta kind of have Africans anyway.
Well, you never know.
Is that gonna be the guys?
I mean, the characters were created by Americans.
Yeah.
The comics was created.
If you're an actor, you gotta be able to throw an accent on it, huh?
You have to.
You're an actor, yeah.
So that's I'm just if there's anybody for the youth out there that that are listening to it's okay to want to dream to be an actor, and it's okay to pass through, but we got too many people thinking they can just go from the mic to in front of the camera. That's a totally different world.
Yeah, it's not
And
that
that's
easy.
what we're getting. We're just getting rappers because they have the popularity. We're gonna have to just as accept their limited talent on screen and just be like, dang, that's the best we got. No disrespect to all the actors that have crossed over.
Now we getting some dialogue.
But because I've been there and been in the business, this is the best that you're gonna get as far as people that are putting up the money and get their money back. We don't know if we can train this little guy right here. Nobody know him, but he might have all the acting talent in the world.
Yeah.
Quick question for you. Where was somebody that's trying to act, where could they go to get their skills up?
To get their skills, you first want to start in theater, just to get over stage fright and just to get to learn how to build a character, not, whatever the writer wants. And that you get those skills in theater and in classes in school. I mean, you don't have to go to LA or Atlanta. It helps. It really helps. Because you're not going to really understand what your dream means and what you got to go through to accomplish it if you don't really need to leave the nest. I mean, Kansas City, we got a lot of, talented people that have never left, and, we get stuck with that Kansas City mentality because, we're pretty critical.
You got to be the one to make it.
Yeah, we're real critical of ourselves and
It's
anybody.
I ain't from here, so I be having my thoughts about the mentality here and whatnot. And I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, please do.
Missouri, last place to free the slaves. Right? So there's a stronghold, there's a mentality that took longer to get shook off. Right?
You're absolutely right.
So it's just kind of still not shook off.
Well,
because not enough comes in and out. You know what I'm saying? The other cities, by default, if they have waterways or import, export, where a lot of different people come in and out, it changes the views. But here, it don't really change in and out. You got that same water.
And you could say, why was it the last place to free the slaves? Because maybe it was the last place to get the message.
Yeah, because you can't get to it. Exactly. It's in the heart. It's in the middle.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's what I was saying about the in and out and the import, export, and the waterways and the airways and whatnot. You ain't getting that change. That's how I say my hood in Seattle, gone. 15 years earlier, why? Change. That change, that in and out, and people, oh yeah, we're going to go this way. Oh, okay, we're going to go this way. And we know how they throw the okey doke and the alley oop on us. You think you vote for it today is the thing that baps you tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But here the old ways don't die hard, so ain't nobody changing, so ain't nothing changing.
So Kansas City, we the last one to get all the information. We the last one to get the trends. We the last one to get the social news.
Hey, but Kansas
You know?
City ain't, you know what I'm saying? And Kansas City got it what it could get.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's in here.
Sure.
You just gotta stir it up and cultivate it.
A lot of
You
talent.
got to
a lot of talent.
collectivize, Willie. I'm serious. So I like it. I'm back out here. You out here.
Yeah.
We got a lot of organizations in Buff, Exceed Life, W Du Bois Center,
10,000 men strong. You heard about
LOC.
that?
Yeah. I
Definitely.
got my bean pie yesterday and
Yeah,
cut it up and everybody at work eat it.
Definitely shouts out to
You
the
know
10
what I'm saying?
because as it stands, they are the vanguard in Kansas City.
They are.
The vanguard of
They
Kansas
are.
City, Foot Patrol.
They are.
Foot Patrol, starting out
They
Foot
are.
Patrol. Big respect to all those guys, you know, that are. And I'm sitting here thinking of it. You know, you hear these stories of these corrupt cops and these corrupt officials, you know, that are brought up in this environment of good justice and of the right way to be. But then you look at them and they're so corrupt. Now, anybody that'll tell you how law of physics goes, so if you have this, there has to be some type of counterbalance. So look right in the hood, look in your strongest gang, and then you're going to find a righteous person that is the counterbalance to
It's
that
the counter-
evil
yeah.
cricket person on the
You
other
got to
side.
have it.
Right, you're
And
right.
so we look amongst our hood, look
Where our
amongst
Black
our
Panthers
brothers.
at? You heard
They right there.
Yeah.
What's his name? T'Challa?
They right there.
What was his name? T'Challa? That's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what
So
name?
so think of that, amongst ourselves. And it goes back to that saying in the streets of really being one of them OGs that's true to the game. It's those kind of fellas that really understand the karma of the street game and how to play, straight up bets. And it's those types that we'll be able to bring up and really breed, because that's going to be the front line of our revolution, because those got to be strong enough,
Gotta be.
to be the rhinos running through the roughest pack.
Got to, you know what I'm saying? The OGs, like, you know what I'm saying, that growing up, I don't know how old you are, but, I'm kind of old. And growing up, they shunned our, I know our gangbangers ain't have the right focus, and our dope dealers ain't had the right focus, but they ours. And they didn't have no direction. But who gonna hold it down when it go down but your young, wild, active gangbangers? And who had the best business skills in the hood but them dope dealers?
Right.
Wasn't nobody else counting and moving and making no money.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that you had to do that to buy your mama something and know what it feel like. But a whole bunch of Christmases would have never happened if it wasn't for that dope money.
Right.
Denzel wouldn't have got his first Broadway play if it wasn't for that dope money.
Sure.
And that's sad.
Sure.
But it was the only industry offered to us. And we had to take what we took.
Make it work.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to find ways and be proactive to put our industry out there.
Transition, y'all.
And transition. And fund our industry on something that can be sustainable and out here. And then we could do something. I went to the Buy Black Place KC initiative program the other day. I had to do some spoken word, you heard. And it was beautiful. And it made me think, and I'm so glad I work for a black employer right now. Shout out to Luffy's, you heard me. Mr. Luffy been in the business 20 years.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? You got Mr. Gates. You got a couple of black industries out here in Kansas City, and the more we spend money with them, they allow them to hire more people, which in turn bring more money into our community. And if we can circle that money around in our community,
Economic circle.
we could do something instead of letting our money go out our community in 7 hours.
But we got the money.
Right, we do.
Our money gone. We spend trillions as a collective people.
If we
and
didn't spend it
Yeah.
amongst ourselves, we got it.
Yeah,
And
we
with
got it.
ourselves, yeah.
But as soon as we get it, we spend it, we trickling it off to whoever else want it, trying to keep up.
The 10% of the population that we have in this country is black people. The 10% of the population, how much cultural influence do y'all know that we have? We don't
Cultural
know.
influence has got to be in the high 80s.
Yeah, so 10% of the people is controlling the influence of the culture of the masses.
Yeah, and we
But
own less than
but-
3% of everything.
and only got less of that in the money.
Yeah,
Something's wrong.
It don't add up.
it's bad.
Don't add up. Something's wrong.
Buy black. You know what I'm saying? Find that black consumer and buy black. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like their black practices ain't right, find a way to talk to them and get it real, but still spend that money and let's make it work. Keep that money in the hood. We gotta do that. I think we're gonna go to a break. Before we go to a break, I gotta talk about it. May 26th, Black Archive, 18th and something. look up blackarchives.org. We're having Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. coming. We're gonna do a speech, Legacy of the Panthers, brought to you by Urban Literation and the Black Archives. So come check it out. Ridiculously Good Catering. Myself gonna be catering. It's gonna be a nice event. Log on and register. blackarchives.org. KUAW. Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom Radio.
Mike?